What's up, you guys? All right, getting all set up over here. Hope everybody is doing well tonight, and it's my favorite night of the week, man. So what's going on? I hope everybody's doing well. And we got a couple cards we're going to work on tonight. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I'm Kurt. My company is called Kurt's Card Care. It says it right there, and I've been into working on cards and collecting cards as long as I can remember. It's the most consistent thing in my life, I can tell you that. At 42 years old, isn't that something? Always been into little collectibles, man, but I'm glad I'm amongst others that understand that. So happy Wednesday to you guys, and I just want to sincerely send my best to everybody, man. Whether you're in a great season or you're struggling, just remember it's always a season. So just stay strong, man. Hope you guys are doing well. What's up? What's up? Denver, what's up, man? I'm glad that you got everything in the mail. I'm crazy about sending out mail, man. When I get an order, it never gets old. It excites me. Whenever I get an order, I'm like, I can't wait to see what they do with this. Have fun. Let's go. You know what I mean? So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. But, that's why I do these Wednesday night live shows, because I like to show you. I think that just like saying, hey, this will be fun to use and go use it, that's kind of hard. You know what I mean? So, this is something that I love to do and I love to share with you guys. So thank you for that. And I'm just kind of getting my brains right over here, and I think I know what we're going to do. I think, so usually during the week, you guys, like I get questions pretty much all day, every day. I feel like I'm kind of like the air traffic controller of card questions, but that's great because it keeps me in touch with my customers. And I think that no matter what type of business you run, when you have a lot in common with your customers and you actually like them, it makes it all awesome. You know what I mean? And, hey, what's up? Checking in Boston, man. Checking in here in Detroit, Michigan. What's up? I can't wait to see my East Coast friends this weekend, man. If you guys are going to be in the Rhode Island area, we're going to be at the Crown Jewel Card Show, and it's at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Rhode Island. And my dear friend Joe Burrito, I call him Joe Burrito, but his name's really Joe Brito, but Joe Burrito sounds cool. So Joe, if you're watching tonight, buddy, can't wait to see you. So here's what the most common things that I've been asked lately this past week. All right. I say the most, hey guys, what's up? What's up? LA in the house, coast to coast, and right here in the middle. Oh, hey, card breakers, what's up? It's just briefly about PSA. Yeah, I saw that they just made an addendum to like one of their things that said, don't use card cleaning or card spray or something. Whatever. I mean, here's the thing, guys. I would still be sitting here live and doing all this with you tonight if PSA didn't even exist. I don't care about PSA. I know that like they're cool, that they do a good job of like most of the time they do, good job grading a card. But at the end of the day, I like working on cards and I like collecting them and I like collectors and I like the community. So even if grading companies disappeared, I'd still be sitting here week after week showing you how to do this, because I do this because it's fun, and I assume if there ever somebody like hacked a card and screwed up a card and put a bunch of like colors on it or sanded it down or something like that, I think that's totally fine for a grading service to say, no, not good. This ain't going to work. But really, guys, like I made this and I made this to clean these and not stick to them or hide anything. And I've never had an N7 in my life. You know what I mean? So whatever, right? But, I'm here for you guys, not to please other companies. I'm here to please collectors, because without collectors, there's no card collecting industry. There's no cards to collect. There's nothing. So, PSA is a grading company. That's it. They're not like the Holy Grail. You don't report to them. They don't own your cards. So just enjoy the hobby, enjoy each other. Hey, and that's, it's funny. Somebody, Red Zone, asked me, BGS said my card was rolled. You know what? Here's the only thing I can think of. Like tonight, we're going to work on a corner right here, right? I think that sometimes people like might get a pinched corner and like smash it down, and maybe a smash down corner, or it could consider like they might think you're trying to like hide something or pinch it down. I've had you guys seriously like, I like BGS. I think I've always liked them because I grew up with them. But something that I've noticed, people that have sent me pictures, I get a couple a week from people that have never even prepped a card or cleaned a card or anything. They just get referred to me because they'll send in a card to to BGS typically, and it'll be pack stuff like Bowman cards out of a pack, and they'll get it back and it'll say corners are pressed, and they're like, I casually collect cards and I casually submit them. I bought these and I sent them in from the hobby box I bought. What am I supposed to do with this? So it's weird, man. I think that maybe there's paranoid. If they all just, no, I think the best take is if you see any fishy business on a card, if somebody colored it or painted it or cut it or something like that, mark it altered. If you're just going to look at it and go, this looks too good to be true, there must be some funny business going on. Oh, that's a slippery slope, man. That is a slippery slope for a grading service. So hopefully they just wise up and understand that card cleaning and card prep and doing the stuff that like this, it's popular, not because of me. It's popular because people freaking love it, and it's fun, and it's cool. Like, we're collectors. We like to touch stuff. Like, if we didn't like to touch stuff, we would just buy stocks. You know what I mean? So, like, now we can collect stuff and make little repairs. Awesome. Like, this, you can't fight it. It's fun. So, whatever. I mean, I never had any problems with them, so I'm not going to start any problems with them, but it's just kind of weird. But here's what I want to show you guys tonight. I don't know about you guys, and no disrespect to any manufacturers out there, but, like, I don't like these types of cases, the one touches, mainly because of this. So, check this out. And this is something, man, that this is something that happens easily during the mail or transit or packing up and going to a card show or something like that. Like, just even buy a heart or a fire or something. Like, how many times have you guys, even if you have like a great track record of handling your cards, I think this has happened to a lot of people. This happens in the mail, So anyways, that's why, these things will open up, or sometimes during transit, if you don't tape them shut, and they'll scoot up. So did you guys see where that was? You see how there was, and that was exactly right. King for Ambition Road, did you see where we're sitting? Exactly. So, like, sometimes these things can move around in here, and then they'll get pinched real bad. But, don't let it, you can't save every single one of them, but I took a good look at this Barry Bonds card, and it looks like all of our color is still there. It's a challenging little hit. It's pretty good in there. But I think you guys, we can make some good progress. So, like, I had probably a handful of guys. I think it was I had a couple guys that are buying, like, stuff in bulk. They'll buy a big lot with a bunch of stuff in cases or one touches or top loaders. Or even sometimes, man, you'll have, like, these older top loaders. Sometimes card will float out the pack or float out of a top loader and the corners will get bent and stuff. You know what I mean? So, if that's the case, man, just take it one step at a time. And we're going to try to do that right now. So, yeah, see, I think that most of us do. Actually, sometimes you guys, I like doing the crazy cards that are like a 1 and they're all beat up and, we'll soak it. And it's like fun and entertaining. I promise I'll do that. But I also want to get into the stuff that you guys ask me about the most. And that's stuff like this. So here's the first thing I think when I see this. Well, let's just do a thorough check. It looks kind of got a little bit of a corner. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, that's something I'd fix or put back in shape. All right, let's do it, because we'll do that little corner and we'll do that. So if you guys don't mind sitting on the old Instagram with me and watching it, we can go for there. So let's try to fix this thing, man. So what do I need? I don't think I need a lot, but what I want to do is just let's do a card. I like these little, my little circles, guys, because it creates just a tough surface. So the first thing I want to do is let's just fix this little corner that we ran into, and then we'll go for the big issue. But even little stuff is sometimes a pain in the butt to fix, and a little thing like that can keep your card from not being in mint condition. So I think that I want to go. I don't think this one should be very difficult at all, you guys, so I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to get the card tool out. I just got some new, I love these guys are the same thing as, they're the same as these, just our card sleeves, but these are photograph sleeves, and they're 4x6, and I like them. They make a good go-between for stuff like this. And you might say, hey, how come you're not using card spray or hot breath or something like that? It didn't look real bad, guys. It just kind of looked like it was kicked up a little bit, so I don't think I need to do a whole lot. The card tool is pretty good. It will get through most of this stuff. And I promise you guys to look at the messages tonight. I'll answer as much as I can. Yeah, this is just the standard. You guys, Tiffany cards have a lot of shine to them. They're like a real premium stock. But if any of you guys are old, I say old, like if you were around to watch Barry Bonds play, man, dude was an animal. I mean, he went from looking like a normal dude to looking like The Rock, and God, he could hit the baseball like he was The Rock too. I was in high school when him and McGuire and like Sosa they made baseball super fun. They definitely made it super fun to watch if you guys were able to check that out. And now I am using just a little bit of card spray because a little moisture always helps. So I won't spend too much time on that. Yeah, roids. Yeah, for sure. See how you just get that little crease out and you're just back to a nice little sharp corner. I like little things like that. And then just on the front, I'll always just go down the edge lightly. And I never use any force. That's something I get asked a lot. Like, I'm not even pushing on it. I'm just making sure the tubing makes contact with it. It usually takes care of the rest. Yeah, what vegetables were those? Vegetables covered in some juice or something. But so that's cool, right? Just when you have a little funky corner like that, you can just do that. But now let's go for the real one. Let's go up here. Now here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to push this all at once. I don't want to crack any of this paint. All right, so I want to get it to work with me. And I think the only way I can do that, guys, is with a little bit of card spray. And what we're going to do is try to get this edge down, and hopefully the front will follow suit. You know what I mean? So let me get my brains right. What do I want to do here? I got to use card spray on this. I don't want to try to put it down and crack the front. So let's go back. You guys, if you use a little white pencil, little tortillons, those work great. I just don't use them on my lives because my hand gets in the way. I hold a pencil like a club. This is how I hold a pencil. So when I work on with this thing, you can't see anything, but these work well. And then this little detail Q-tip. Okay. So let's do this. Well, that's good to know, Denver. Topps has 2 stars on the back. Tiffany has no stars. That's good to know. I was never a big baseball collector from this era. This was all the stuff that I got hand-me-down when I was a kid. And it's cool stuff, but I always wanted the older stuff that my uncles had, and then I wanted the upper deck and the newer stuff that was coming out. So but I am finding these are, they kind of just bring me back. I do like these cards. So let's see if we can do this. This is actually pretty gnarly. You know what I mean? That's not easy. So what I want to do is I just want to go, I'm tapping too, you guys. I'm almost just little gentle taps on it. And you see how I put that moisture on there just in little dots? Let's just let it hang out for a second. Let's just let it chill. And I am going to, I'm just watching it. So what I really want to do is I want this to be able to get into the card here. I don't want to do a full semi-soak or anything like that. It's the card's in great condition, minus this part. But I do feel like if we can just get a little bit of moisture in here and let it dry nicely, we should be all right. Like I said, it's actually a really good looking example of this card. Hey, Gary. Good to see you, buddy. Hope everybody's having a good week, man. If you guys are just joining, I send my best. And out of all the billions of options you have with technology today, man, you guys chose to hang out and watch some card stuff. It means a lot to me, sincerely. Okay, so here's what I'm doing now, guys. I think that we got a little bit of moisture in there, so let's just see. So what I want to do now is I'm always thinking about unpacking it. So it pinched down pretty good, so there's not a whole lot of unpacking, but I don't want to go all over it. So I'm just going to pull towards the edge. Everybody got a good view? Sorry about that. I know that light's a little annoying. Let me see if I can make it better for you guys. This will at least show you the technique. I always use tons of lighting here, you guys. I got to see every little thing. But I know from watching it from a live perspective, you actually want to see what the heck I'm doing. And I'm using this sleeve, you guys, as like a go-between. Octane, Collectibles, what up, dude? I don't know if I'd be a very good president. I don't think I can do that. I could maybe be the president of a collecting thing. I like being the president of my company, man. I love to know you guys. Thanks to Instagram and me getting over my insecurities of doing stuff. I never liked social media. My wife made me make this channel a couple years ago because I was always just doing card stuff in the basement by myself. And she was totally a motivation to me. She's like, people will love this. All your friends come over and love it. But I'm like the internet. You know, I knew. I'm like, some people will probably love it. Other people are going to hate it. They're going to think it's not right. She's like, just keep doing it. Because as you guys can see, it's pretty cool. And we're making some progress right here. So, hang with me. So, that's a good question. Ricardo asked me a good one. Ricardo, hang there for a second. And then, okay, let me answer this one. This is a good question. Can you do the same thing if the card was in a one touch? Yes, this is exact. This was a one touch in accident, you guys. If you're just joining, that's what this is. That's what we're doing right here. And if you ever pinched like the top edge of a card in a one touch and you have a line going all the way across, you can do the same thing. So now I just gently, now listen, with card spray, you only need a little bit, especially on a paper card like this. So remember where we started? Look at it now. And I ain't gonna hide, there's the light. So let's take a look at the front, see what we're doing up here. Still got a pretty good hit right there. Let's fix it. Let's do it. I think we got this. All right, let's zoom out for a sec. I just need a little bit more spray. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like. But the back looks really good so far. So thank you guys for watching this one, man. All right, so now same deal. But you see why I started on the back? Because it was the card was pushed this way. So I wanted to, it's almost like if you have a dent in your car, you want to get behind it and undent it. Well, that was in the old days when cars were made mainly of like materials that could move. But that's just kind of the approach I take with this. So now, guys, I don't want to be in a rush because I'm excited right now. Yes, I am excited, and we made a really good move on the back. But then when you do something good, don't lose your focus. So I'm just acting like I haven't even touched the back right now. I just want to get a little bit of moisture in this front like we did the back. Let's just hang out for a second. And I think this is going to look really, really good, you guys. I'm just what I'm watching for right now. Dude, David, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. What, David, right? Look, Dave, I'm going to clap for you. Got fabric off a Kobe patch card and came back a PSA 10. Dude, good job. It's weird when stuff is stuck to those cards. So glad you got it, man. All right, so I'm decently happy with where we're at right now on this. So what I want to do is now go back in. I just don't want card spray sitting around. If you're working with like a little drop of card spray over here, you guys, clean it up because it's easy to start working and move this over to it. Like, how many times have I had Pokemon guys hit me up and say, Kurt, I was working on an edge and I realized I was holding my card edge and there, and now it's all wonky on this side. So just think, pay attention. So let's do this again. And I just want to gently go from, I got to get a good angle here. Don't forget it. Your finger's a good tool too. I just want to see where we're at. And I'm just looking at these little creases and just trying to pull them towards the edge. It was wrinkled, so I'm trying just to gently unwrinkle it. I always visualize, how did this happen, and then I try to go reverse. Oh, thank you for the nice feedback, you guys. I'm glad you enjoyed this. Thank you. Oh, Dave, you put a carbon fiber hood on the Raptor? I bet you it does look real good. I left the graphics on my hood because I always get the D badges. I don't like the stickers going down the bedsides. But we're going up. You guys, Dave's one of my buddies here. We're both into fast vehicles and trucks, and yes, I cannot wait to go to the sand dunes here in a few weeks, man. We're going, and we're gonna go have fun. This is turning out good, you guys. It's fun to do cars and talk to you. So thank you guys, all of you, for being here. I really appreciate it. I have a question that said, how did you get into this line of work? Well, I think I never looked at it as much work. You know, it was kind of like my retreat. I had a very normal gig for a long time, and I was always into this. But like, I kind of trace it back to like when I was younger. My family owned a body shop and a dealership. So I was always into like automotive care. And my dad was like a great mechanic and he's a race car driver, quarter mile driver, and just was always into cool stuff. And when I started getting cards, I couldn't stand it if they were dinged or bent up and stuff. My dad was like big, we always took care of our vehicles. So he would like buy me a card and stuff like, don't be touching that, keep it in the case. I think it was just like, I was always into, I grew up in a very blue collar family where it's like, if you wanted something, you had to go work. It wasn't like, we weren't spoiled, but my mom and dad were good examples of people that were hard workers. And then when I got into cards when I was a kid, I designed this thing, you guys, when I was like a teenager. And my parents were always cool with it. They'd take me out. We'd always go garage sailing, look for cards and stuff like that. And I'd always work on them. And then throughout my 20s and 30s, I started doing I started getting customers, you know what I mean? And I started doing more and more of this. And then I just got too busy. And I was like, I can't handle, I can't go to my normal job and then come home and have a pile of cards. It was giving me anxiety because I like to perform. I like to do a great job for people. You know what I mean? And that's when I was literally on a dog walk with my wife, and she said, we were talking about it, and I was like, man, I'm getting like 20 phone calls a day of people want to send me 100 cards. And that's when we said, well, why don't we just say we're closed? But why don't we teach people this? And, we're like, I make my own stuff. I got all these videos and knowledge. I'm sure I'm not the only one that would want to learn how to do it. So that pushed me into doing this like this. And this is and you guys made me like so busy that this is what I do now. This is literally what I do. You guys, I am inspired a lot by other conservation and restoration people. I love watching the poster restorations. I love watching comic book restorations. I love automotive artwork. So I pick up everything that I teach you guys is all patchwork together from all of those cool things that I just have always liked and just kind of was inspired by and then made it my own. Check it out, you guys. It's coming out. Isn't that cool? Look at the back, man. It's like it wasn't even there. So what we might do is I might put this one to the side for a few minutes, and we might have to come back and check on it if that's okay with you guys. Because if you weren't here watching me right now, I would stop and I would let this rest because I want to see what the moisture in there does. I want to see if it expands anymore or if it goes down or whatever. So that's another thing. Don't push it. Take your time. The wrinkle ain't going to go anywhere on its own, or card ain't going to go anywhere. So just take your time. And this, what I'm doing right now, do you guys see this? Here's something I really want you to see. When the detail Q-tip is new, it has a sharp tip. Do you see how I smashed this one down? I did that on purpose with moisture because it does help me to just do tight little baby circles over this area. And it's a little bit different than using the card tool. I almost picture like having a pinched muscle in your back and you just got to hit it from a few different angles. But if those of you like me that have bad backs, it's not about shoving on it real hard. It's just doing it the right way. So just, that's kind of like what I'm doing here. But check this out, you guys. This is really cool. Yeah, you're right, Denver. Like, tonight we're doing more restoration. Nothing's really dirty in here tonight. Check it out, you guys. Look at that. We did that right in front of all of us here live. How cool is that? And if you guys are just joining, you're going to have to rewind to see how cool that was, because this thing was hit. I'm proud of that. That's cool as hell. Thank you guys for watching that. So let's put Barry Bonds over to the side. I still want to keep it just now. And now you might say, all right, now what would you do? What do I do now? I want now there's going to be some moisture still in there. So I want this to rest. So I'm just going to put this on my card mat. I'm going to let it chill. And we're going to grab another card because I save them up for you guys, man. I like the one that we're going to do next. This is fun for me to show you guys this because for years, and I tell you guys, like, as much as I love watching you guys get better at card restoration, you push me to get good at different stuff. Like, I never grew up collecting Pokemon because I'm too old for it. Like, I'm not too old for it now because I like them now. But like, I was a senior in high school in like '99, and like, I was more into like smoking weed and like drinking and like trying to chase girls down. You know, I was a different person in '99. I didn't think about cards too much. But now that now that I'm happily married and sober, I got that partying out of my system. Now I'm back to my favorite stuff, like cards, you know. But these were nothing I grew up collecting, but I know how kick-ass they are and how cool they are. And for years, you guys, I would say nothing I can do with a crease. Nothing. You know? No, you guys, I wouldn't be here right now if I was still doing all three, man. I was too selfish, man. If anybody out there, guys, serious, if anybody out there is struggling, man, hurts, habits, hang-ups, just know you're not alone, man. And it's one day at a time. You can always make a change. So if you're struggling, man, and you ever have any questions for me, you hit me up, man. Judgment free, always. So this one, you guys, is not a whole lot for us to do tonight, but we're going to check on it. Here's what I want to show you. This is my son Dean's card, and my son Dean loves the Dark Dragonite. And I'm going to show you a couple things on it. We got if I can get my focus here. Let's see. Okay, you guys see it? We got a crease or a nail mark. Got that back here. And then I have a whole series of creases right there. Stuff that forever I would say is impossible to get out. I just couldn't get it. And then, so I'm going to try to fix those. Here's something I can't fix, guys, because I just never, this is where, and sometimes I talk to you guys like it's the first time you've ever been here, you know? So for all of my friends that have been around for a long time, appreciate you guys, love you. And if you're new, you're welcome to be here, and I'm happy you're here. So like, this is stuff, you guys, right here, this missing paint on these edges. I don't think, you know, I love restoring cards with wrinkles and creases and doing what you can do, but I've never been in the camp of it being cool to like go out and get some paint and try to like paint these corners and stuff like that. It's just, you know, I do draw a line where like, this is what happens, you know what I mean? So, but I look at creases and stuff, it's like, yeah, that happened, but if you can safely reverse it back to its original condition, why the heck wouldn't you? You know what I mean? So I don't have any ways to get rid of that, but it doesn't matter. My son is a collector, so he loves the card. He's not looking for a grade. He just loves his Dark Dragonite, and he said, hey, Dad, can you get those wrinkles out for me, man, and maybe get that thumbnail out of the back? And I said, let's do it. So here's what I'm going to show you guys. This is going to be a pretty quick process on this one because we're going to have to look at it tomorrow. I'm going to follow up with you, but don't go away because we got another card with some mega hits on it. Okay, so don't go away, but I want to show you what to do when you run into a Pokemon with some wrinkles like that. With the sports cards, for years and years, if you guys have watched any of my stuff before, I will, you know, with sports cards, man, I'll get the whole damn thing wet if I need to. You know, it's fine. But, and because they dry, and it's whatever. I mean, it's the safest way I know how to restore something made out of paper is by getting it wet, getting it clean, and letting it dry gently. But like I always would blow it with these. What's up, Dylan? Good to see you, man. I'd always blow it with these types of cards because I would put too much moisture in them. So it was like a couple months ago, I was like, you know what? I am just gonna like barely put moisture in there and see what the heck happens. And what do you know? Lo and behold, it worked really well. Now it's worked really well for me when it comes to indents, little dents, little nail marks. Like I'm pretty confident about that nail mark we can get that out. But this crap has been tricky. So let's give it a shot. So guys, practice on a base card, my TCG collectors. Now this is good for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball. I mean, any of those playing cards. And here's what I do. Like I'll hold the mat like card spray probably about 8-10 inches away. And just hit it 2 little times like that, real light. And let's put our Dragonite right there. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top. Just a little bit. That's it. And what that's the easy part. This whole thing's easy. This is not a tricky process that I'm going to teach you guys here. But I'm going to give you some details that are important. Okay? So I'm going to hold this, and this is going to be like a little prize for me. And for you. We're going to look at it together. I'll check it out tomorrow. So like I am going to close this up and we're going to leave it and it's going to sit. And that little amount of, this is the important part, that little amount of card spray I put in there. Oh, hey, there I am. What's up? That little amount of card spray I put in there is going to dry completely. Now, if you guys are familiar with me doing sports cards, I'm like, change these mats out every couple hours. Keep pulling that moisture. I don't want to pull this moisture out at all. I want it to stay in there. And I want it to dry totally. So here's the concept. You keep this in there. That little bit of moisture is going to go in there, and it's going to just lightly moisten the card to the point where it's not going to wrinkle it and screw it up. It's going to hopefully, this is all theoretically, but through my experience, it's going to get it back to its normal position, and it's going to dry in here. So it's going to get moist in here, dry in here, and then we're going to open it up, and it's going to be improved. Now, I don't know if it's going to be 100%, but I know it's going to be better. So if it's not 100% tomorrow, we're going to do the exact same process again. Little spray, hold it. That's it. Pokemon cards are awesome, and they're built so well. They're easy to mess up. So if you're going to go save one of these beauties with a dent or like those little creases like that we got in there, you got to do it gentle, all right? So let me, I got a good question. So Dan, you came in at a perfect time. So Dan said, Kurt, I use the card polish on the back of Pokemon cards. I noticed that the backside almost always gets a bit saturated with the polish, creating, you'll see like little spots, little moisture spots on the back of Pokemon. I bet you, Dan, it could be a little bit older Pokemon, and they could have a little bit of wear and tear. What is happening is there's little spots, maybe there's like where moisture's getting in, okay? So if you guys look at the back of your Poke card and you got like the Pokeball has some like little spots on it, this needs to dry, okay? It just needs to dry. So I am so glad you said that, Dan. So anytime you guys see that, just put that card out. It's going to totally evaporate. It will not stain your card, and it will be all good, all right? So do that, all right? And if you have any other ones that, any other questions, you guys hit me up. I mean, I'm always, if anybody is new to watching this, like I said earlier, I appreciate you guys and I'm lucky to have you. So like, I'll never ignore you. So if you guys have a question, a comment, a concern, a help, send me a message, man. Send me a picture. But do me a favor. You can't take a picture and be like, hey, Kurt, what do you think I should do this card? Like, be like, hey, Kurt, I got this spot right here. I'm trying to do this. I haven't done anything yet. Shoot it like a CSI, and I'll be able to give you some tips. Okay. So I've had I don't know, since you guys are probably sharper on a lot of the release dates, did thick cards just come out? Did the new round of thick cards come out? Because all week I've had questions about dented corners and edges on thick cards. So maybe it's just a common thing we run into on thick cards, but I've had a bunch of questions about these. So hey, maybe maybe it was just means time to do it. Johnny, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. These are all archived, you guys. Great. Got it. Again, love it. Thanks for the questions. Here's something that I want to remind you of. If you guys like watching this type of work, and tonight I always try to do a vintage. I try to do a TCG. Try to do something I try to do a variety, because if you're like me, I like a variety of cool cards. And Fig Jam jumped right on it. Thanks, brother. Yep. What happened? Go to my YouTube page. You guys subscribe to that. And then I have every single one of these demos on a playlist. So for example, this one's going to be on the edge and corner playlist. And then, when you run into if this card had a bunch of stuff stuck on it, it would be on the surface cleaning playlist. But it doesn't look like a dirty surface to me. But let's just give it a look. No major dents or anything. We're cool. Let's just focus on this, because this is the number one annoyance with thick cards. If you guys don't mind, I want to look at this. I can't just guess. I see that it's hit, but I want to see which way I got to move it. If that makes sense, fellas. So, and ladies, I know we got the ladies on here tonight. I'm sorry. I got to do this. And I'm holding my phone on this magnetic stand here. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to take a look at this under here. All right, that's pretty snub nose. That is and if you have to move your card, just adjust your focus on your scope. Let's take a look at this. Sorry that I'm kind of rambling or jumbling around here. All right, so that one, when I'm looking at this, it tells me, let me get a better view for you guys, sorry. Good old live show. All right, so what I'm seeing on this one is, it's I don't know. I might be missing a piece of the card. We'll find out. Oh no, I might be there. I'm looking at this little lip. It might be there still. I need to look at the back corner. All right, I want to start on the back. I think. Okay, let me bring it back over here. Thanks for watching me do this live, you guys. This is seriously how I process stuff too. When I'm sitting here, I'm like, I know what the problem is, but what's the most effective solution? All right, I need more lights, so bring my lighting back. We'll put that one on too. Yeah, good, Dan. Good. That's what I wanted you to know. Because if you guys have any of the polish is good stuff, man. It won't stain a card. But it could get a card a little bit wet, but it'll evaporate, guys. So remember, if you ever see something like that, just stop. Don't do anything new. You don't start rubbing on it or pushing on it or it'll go away. You know what I mean? It will be all right. So let me get my brains back together. I need to get these. All right, I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to have to do it all anyways. So what I want to do first is I want to try to get this back corner. And this is definitely something, guys, that I'm going to need to use a little bit of card spray. So I'm just going to use a top loader rather. And that'll be my little palette. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it up. See how I wore this one down because I wanted to have it smooth? I'm going to use a pointy one now. I want to get into this little small, hard to reach place. And it's almost like a fountain pen where you just hold it into the spray and it'll climb right up into it. So this is the part I got to be good with. I am going to touch the tender part of the card right on the inside, and then I'm going to try to put that corner back down, okay? I think I'm going in the right direction. Sorry guys, I get quiet. I sit here and I'm like focusing, so hang with me and I'll tell you what I'm doing. Now I have it down, but it creates that little line from one edge to the other edge. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of moisture in there. Now I'm going to switch back over to the one that I already have a little bit rounded out. I'm just going to quickly go down. I'm going to go in directions all this way. So we're going to go not only down that top edge, but all the way down there. Then we're going to do the same direct thing that way. Now we're going to go right towards the corner. So if I slow down, you see I'm going a 90 degree. So I'll go this way, this way, this way. And if I can do it right, I can get that thing back down. All right, so progress so far. Now we got this. Let's get this front one. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit close, guys. All right, so I got the bottom pretty flat. We're cool with that, but that is kicked up way too much. So what I want to do is almost like the same thing we did in the bottom, but I want to go back to the sharp. Sorry, I want you to see what I'm doing. And thanks everybody for being here tonight, man. I appreciate you guys. Hope your summer's off to a great start. And if you're just jumping in, guys, just a courtesy reminder, I do save these on Instagram and on YouTube. And tonight we're just working on structural stuff, wrinkles, edges, corners. Probably some of my favorite stuff to do, because it gives you that kind of instant gratification. You can kind of see it right away. Now this is going to tell us if we did it. Do not be heavy-handed. Do not be heavy-handed. Because if I was, guys, if I was trying to use pressure, if I was using pressure on this and I came off this corner and like sloped it down real hard, it sucks. Then you got to figure out how to get it back up. So like when a corner is kicking up, there's usually a good chance you can get it back down, but you just got to be slow and steady. Just going to rock here for a second on it. A little mild pressure is nothing bad. But I'm serious, it's like next to nothing. Okay, let's check this one out. Isn't that cool? Getting that nice and back together. Let me turn my light back on, that's better. Still got a little roughage around there. Amped Blue Studio. You get anxious as watching. That's good, man. I'm glad. I want you to feel something. Don't be anxious though. Just be excited. Go bust up some core. And you guys don't wait for like a good card to have these problems. You know the good card's gonna have these problems. Go out and buy. If you collect patch cards, go out and buy 10 patch cards right now that are cheap and just have them on hand so you can do cool stuff with them. Like, look at that. That's sweet, right? Let's go back to the back. And now I'm going to go back to my sharp little detailed Q-tip. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just getting a little bit of moisture on there. And I'm just going to paint that edge right there, paint that edge right there. Oh, I think you guys probably want to see this part. So we're just going to go moisture up. I think we're doing well, guys. Check this out. Corner's looking pretty good, isn't it? There we go. There's some good light. Look at that. No, nothing's hiding there. That's it. This thing is still there, though. That's pretty severe. So let's see if we can keep it rolling. But that looks great. Now it makes me look at the bottom one. I'm like, oh, the bottom's not good either. But hey, well, I won't keep you here all night. But I'm trying to get this side in focus. It just doesn't seem to want to focus for me. All right, well, I think you guys can see what I'm trying to show you. Now, I know you can see this. So let's see if we can get this thing out of here. And I want to use my phone. I'm zooming in, you guys, because the iPhone is a hell of a microscope, too. Like, that's a good... Oh, and that shows you that corner better, too. But here's what I want to do. Yeah, you might be right. The bottom corner might have some missing paint. I don't know. Let's figure it out real quick. But you're probably right. I think it does have a little bit of missing paint. Got all the tools out. Might as well use them. Yep, you're right. Little missing paint. So you can get it back to square, but can't get paint to grow back. So let's just focus on this. I'll be happy if we can get this chunk off the top out. So let's try this. So what I want to do first is I want to go on the card. I want to use the pointy Q-tip, and I want to touch that valley right there with a micro touch of card spray. All right, just a little bit. So like what I want to do too, you guys, is I want to prop this up. So another thing, guys, I'll show you is we're gonna try to get this thing out. So what I also, the card mat material, I like to cut it up into little pieces too, to make like little ramps and little stuff out of it. So like that's easier for me to get to when I can do it like that. You see what I'm doing? Now I can have like a little bit of an angle so I can access this little spot. So let's just see if it works. I always try to figure out what's the best view for you guys. So like, I hope that's cool, right? So I'm just going to do a little bit of card spray right there. I want to touch I almost like visualize it being like a dry sponge. And if like, you can add just the appropriate amount of little bit of touch of spray in there. It will bounce back. It will rebound. So I want to soften that part up. Oh, you guys, we're doing this one here. Check this out. This is a PSA 1. I bought this on an auction. Can you believe this is a 1? It's got a big... a long crease going down it, but none of it broke the paint. Look at the edges and corners. This is one of those times where I like a grading company, because I think they got this one way wrong. So coming soon. I'm leaving to go out to Rhode Island here about in a day and a half from now. So I didn't want to do start a soaking project, because I won't be here to like do the final stuff. All right. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one, you guys. So we will absolutely do that Wayne Gretzky together for sure. Maybe I'll save it. We'll maybe do it next Wednesday night. So in our time talking, I was able to get some more. I don't know why I'm not getting a focus here tonight. I get so easily frustrated. Is it my lighting? Anyways, I'm just going to get this little annoying little top part down, hopefully, and then we won't see anything, because hopefully it'll be in place. So I can't tell you guys if all the paint is still here, but we're going to find out. So I want to do the exact same thing. Now that we got that other spot good with just a little micro touch of card spray in there. I'm always worried about chipping paint off these edges. But watch this. We're going to get it to go right back into place with next to nothing. Just a little TLC and a little patience. Watch this. It's going to go right back in there without even me touching it. Look at that move. See, it wants to go back to its spot. Oh, yeah. Thanks, you guys. And thanks for my homies for knowing my stories. I'm a Michigan guy. And now, just to finish this, let's just do, and I'm not rubbing on it. I'm just like tattooing it, tapping on it. Let's get rid of that. We'll do the card tool. And that's that. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be in Rhode Island this weekend, guys. I'm just flying out for the card show at the Crown Jewel at the Crown Plaza is where I'm going. All these crowns. Sounds fancy. But I got a lot of friends and a lot of customers out in the New England area, and I can't wait to come out. So if you guys are there, you recognize, if you see me, come say hi. I would truly love to meet you. It's my favorite part of going to card shows. I'm not good at buying cards at card shows, I'll tell you that. I don't know if it's just like my socially awkwardness or something like that. I don't know. I dig through the dollar bins. And I like to, catch up with the few people I know. So now, guys, I'm just going to let this, you see how that, we used to have a big dip there, and you see how now it's like tightening up? That's all I want to do to this one right now, because I got moisture in there, and if you can still see, just a little, you see that little bit of bump I got right there? That's not a dip. It's not a valley, it's a little mountain. And that means it's going to dry, and I bet you it's going to dry in place. I'll follow up with a picture tomorrow. But I think that went about as well as it can go. I love working on, the thicker cards like this. They just look great. All right, I gotta stop touching it because I know I don't want to remove any paint. But that's gonna dry and I think look really good. Let's see, that front corner was pretty banged up, and then we had a total. All right, it's coming out. So guys, let's recap. So, hey Rick, what's up, buddy? You know what? Dimples are probably not going to go anywhere because the first thing I think of is a dimple like on a plastic card, like a prism card or something. And I think what it is, fellas, is I imagine they make these cards with heat and pressure, and what I want to do is turn around and say hi to you guys. Yo, what's up, you guys? So dimples on cards, usually like if it's on a anything modern, like prism, optic, Bowman, they're pushed into the surface. I imagine like when they press these cards, when they're making them with heat or whatever like that, they will press into the surface, or it's like a bubble that pops or something like that. I imagine that it's just something that's they're made during the production, but I could never get the plastic surfaces to pop one out. Paper cards, if you have like a little dip on a paper card most of the time, so yeah, dimples suck. But thank you guys and for being here and joining me tonight, man. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff you can do on a Wednesday night, and I appreciate you being here. If you didn't see the whole thing, I'm going to put this up on YouTube tomorrow, and it will be on Instagram in its entirety. And I'll take some pictures tomorrow too, and of the befores and afters. And Barry Bonds is looking real good. I know it's hard to see the top, but that thing was messed up. Looks really good. I'll show you a picture. We have our dark Dragonite that we're trying to get some wrinkles out of. It's hiding out, And, hey, Ryan, what's up, man? Hey, check that out, Ryan. So, guys, one of my buds on here, Ryan, but The Jordan came back in 9. Authentic altered to a 9. Jeez, dude, that's a change. Good job, man. Good job. But I also say to all collectors out there, grading a card is cool. I still like it. You know what I mean? I think grading is cool. And, when you can get a card, but if you don't agree with it, like, I don't agree. This is probably going to work in my favor. I don't agree that this card's a PSA 1. I don't. So, like, if you don't, feel free to open it up, man. It's your card, and feel free just to, you don't even have to prep a card or clean a card. If you just want to send it back in to get a second opinion, feel free to. Because trust your eyes, like, you can pretty much size up the centering, look at the edges, look at the corners, and look at the surface. And if something's wrong, I think you're going to see it. Don't psych yourself out. Just take a look at it, and then if you guys are like, hey, you know what, I think that I need to clean the front of this card. It's like 20 years old, looks a little hazy. How do I do it? Go to my YouTube page, click on the playlist for surface cleanings, and I'll show you how to clean the surface of gaming cards to cards that are like 120 years old. Like, I'm always, everything I know how to do, I like to share, did I miss anything, man? I think we're good, man. So, hey, I can't wait to do this next week. I'll get some more cool stuff. Since I'm going card showing this weekend, I'll get some good stuff, you know what I mean? And I'll bring out some stuff. But let me just look at my question list real quick. Pretty stickers. And you guys, thanks for answering the questions that some of the guys ask. I appreciate it. You guys can ask any questions here, man. We got a great group of people on here that know cards and also know how to work on them. So they'll always give you good answers. But if you need me, you guys, just hit me in a message anytime. Feel free to ask me anything. I'm always here. Happy to work for you. But is there anything I missed? No. All right. I think I'm going to go chill out. It's 11 o'clock my time. I need to get some sleep because I'm excited to come out to Rhode Island this weekend and see all my friends on the East Coast. All right. So see you soon. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of my family, guys, thanks for, being just the greatest group of people to ever work with, man. I appreciate you guys all so much. Derek, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. And sincerely, you guys are great. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you next week. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care.